Nectar of the Gods.
Compton Frugal Homestead. Today we're talking seedlings that are struggling and refusing to grow. I started some tomatoes from seed, and to be honest, the seed packet is a few years old, and clearly the seeds aren't as viable as they once were. Another piece of honesty, I haven't been taking great care of these seedlings. Regardless, the result isn't great. Here's my solution, at least for the tomatoes. I'm just simply going to clone my existing tomato plants. I have an overwintered tomato plant and a volunteer tomato plant that are both doing well. I'll prune both of these plants and taken the cuttings and stuck them in the soil, and in a matter of days the tomato plants begin to root and put on growth. It's really that simple. This little 1-gallon pot has a really nice growing medium, so I'll be transplanting a little pepper plant much later. And in this box right here, I have again really good material, nice soil, perfect for a tomato transplant. So that's coming up next. So we're back at this catch-all pot. I took a tomato cutting and I went ahead and transplanted it right into this little 3-gallon pot. And as you can see, look at that, it's doing well. So we're back at the magic pot. Here's a tomato cutting that I plopped in there a few weeks ago and should have roots by now. So let's go ahead and dig it out and transplant it. As you can see, it's put on growth and it's filled with roots. Look at that. This container garden bed is filled with logs underneath that soil, so I'm gonna have to dig around that. Alright, let's put this plant in its new home. Remember to plant your tomato plants nice and deep. That little cutting right there, that could be a whole new plant. See all those little hairs on the stem of that tomato plant? They're not just great at capturing sunlight. When you plant the stem nice and deep, those little hairs will root out, and that plant will have a much better, stronger root system. And now I'm going to take this little twig in order to support the little plant. We're back at the magic pot. Let's transplant the next cutting. But first, we're gonna have to do a little cleaning. Look at all the weeds. They've returned. All right, here we go. Let's get to digging. Look at those roots. I told you. Look at that. Nice root system. We'll have to remove those little branches there so that we can go ahead and bury this in a little deeper. All right, we're back once again at the magic pot. I have one last remaining tomato plant. I'm gonna leave it in here for another week or two in order for it to grow, in order for the roots to grow a little more. After that, I'll be digging it up. And right over here on that pot on the left, that will be its new home. This loquat tree just finished fruiting for the season. I have plans of moving this tree. However, I'm waiting until after the summer. This tree is an evergreen and doesn't go dormant, and likely more prone to transplant shock. Again, waiting for the summer heat to end will help in this tree's recovery. What you see me doing here is closing the loop by using trimmings as much needed mulch for my in-ground trees. Back in December, I placed a potted peach tree in the ground, and since then I've tried to place leaves and other material around the base of the tree as mulch covering. You'll see me do the same to an avocado tree I placed in the ground just weeks ago. Thanks for watching. Check out my Instagram for a bit more on what's going on at the homestead. Like and subscribe for more.